You're listening to Yuvavani with me, Puja Goyal, here on Akashvani, Bengaluru. Today, beyond the Arangetram, why young Indians still choose Bharatanatyam. Most children begin a hobby. Few continue it for 20 years. What makes someone return to the dance studio every week? Through school, through exams, through college, into adulthood. Today, we follow the journey of 3 Bharatanatyam dancers from Bengaluru. With me is Vidushi Kumari Disha Sharma, who completed her Vidvat 2 years ago and her Masters in Performing Arts recently after 20 years of training.
This was when I was 3 years old. So I was a very extroverted kid. So my mom started putting me into many classes. I think I started my school only when I was 2 years old. They already put me to school and I started my schooling early. Because I used to learn a lot and I liked interacting with people and all that. And my mom has always put me into all classes so that I explore more, I can choose whatever I want to be and all that. So I think I was 3 when there was a Bharatanatyam class which was going on near my house. It was taken by C. Ashwath sir. Okay. So I used to go when you are 3 years old. They don't usually let you dance because the muscles will be still developing. So my mom still went and enrolled me to the dance class. I used to sit and watch. Most of the times I just sat and watched. But I was a little naughty. So when he was teaching the class, I used to go and dance. Okay, I would go and I would try to dance. He still taught me 1 or 2 steps, but 3-year-old they don't usually recommend. But you don't really dance much as well. So I spent more time watching. So when I remember watching people dance, and then it was very fascinating for me back then. Then suddenly the teacher stopped coming to class. But I had already started liking that so much. Then I was so wanting to go to another class. Then through a mutual connection, my aunt, Lakshmi Devakar, she had a mutual connection with my guru. That is Guru Srimati Suchitra Alaknanda. So we found my guru, and then at the age of 5, I first began. I think it was the first step back then at the age of 5, and I never stopped after that. As the years went by, I also went to many classes, many workshops and performances. There were many lessons that was just not with the dance, So it is a holistic art. So we were taught everything, and that developed a deep connection between me and dance, and I could never leave it.
Every dancer begins somewhere. For 13-year-old Anagha Venkatesh, that beginning is still close enough to remember.
So it's definitely more of a feeling than a clear memory. I don't remember every detail of the first class, but I remember feeling comfortable in the environment. In fact, my classes with Brinda Ma'am started during COVID. It was on Zoom. Dance and music was something I was never completely new to, because art was something which ran in our family. My mother learned Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi, and my great-grandmother was a Veena artist who performed on All India Radio many decades ago.
For every dancer, there's a threshold moment. The Arangetram, the first solo performance. For some, it marks an ending. For Disha, it marked something else entirely.
As the years went by, there were countless classes and performances and all that. So, it introduced me to the Sanatana values, the stories, the philosophy, epics, the culture. I think my grandfather was the one who instigated all these things. Okay, he was a pujari in a temple, and he used to perform the pujas at home as well. So I used to sit with him, and I started observing and learning all these mantras. So as a kid, I always asked the question as to why. So on the day of my Ranga Pravesha, I walked down to the stage just like any other dancer, and I was just hoping to do the justice to all the people. Many of them would have done sacrifice, you know. I cannot just go and stand there and say I am a dancer. When I have to say I am a dancer, there are millions of people who have worked really hard for it. Maybe my parents, my guru, my family, everyone. So I was hoping to do justice for all that, and maintain that faith that my guru and my parents have in me. But then when I stepped off that stage, that's when I realized that this has changed forever, it is no longer just my passion or something. It is my own identity.
Many students complete an Arangetram. For some, it is the end. Let's listen to Brinda Narayanan, Anagha's guru, what she has to say.
So it is natural that life changes after school. The higher studies and the work and the family responsibility take up a lot of time. The many dancers, they do not stop because they have lost their interest. They simply find it difficult to balance their dance and their responsibilities.
Understood.
And of course, it may take a little sad because the dancer is a beautiful art that deserves to stay with you throughout the life. At the same time, I understand their situation. Every person's journey is different and we should respect their choice. So I always encourage my students, stay connected. Whichever way, whether you're observing, whether you watch the video or you practice whatever you have learned, or encourage others to learn it. So I always say stay connected to the dance.
For others, fresh off the very same stage, it is only the beginning.
The Arangetram was one of the most happiest and most emotional days of my life. It still feels so surreal. There was obviously excitement, but also genuine gratitude towards my guru, my family, the musician, and everyone who supported me through this journey. I think the biggest realization after my Arangetram was not the finish line. There is so much more to learn, and every dance teaches us something new.
Every dancer's training is built on the guru-shishya relationship. But what does the word guru actually mean?
The word guru itself carries a lot of meaning to it. Gu means darkness or ignorance, and ru means wisdom. So when a guru is someone who can lead us from the darkness to the light, and for me that has been my guru, like someone who shows the right path, and she has taught me what is right, what is wrong, and made me become a better person. And it is completely true in my life. So she has been my mentor in both, maybe in dance career as well and in life as well. So she has not just shaped me as a dancer, but also a good part of the person that I've become today, I owe it to her. So every aspect of my life in some way has been influenced by her guidance. So whatever happens, I'll be like, I'll be like, Auntie, this happened to me, and I just go to her, and wherever I stumbled, she has just held my hand and helped me. Whatever she's going through at that point of time, for her that stops. What she tries to help me instead to get back on my feet. That has developed a deeper relationship for me with dance as well, and my relationship with my guru also grew deeper.
So,
Everything.
what has the one thing that your guru taught you that has nothing to do with dance, and you have realized that your guru has simply become more than a teacher to you? What is that one thing that he has taught you?
Yeah, so these values, it
Mm-hmm.
becomes very important for a person. Knowledge can give us the certifications or the respect that we need in the society, but to be able to interact with humans and to have that humility,
Mm-hmm.
value plays a major role. So I think throughout my life, in different stages of my life, she's been different things to me. She's been a friend when I need, and when I was confused, she has guided me with my career. And there are things when things get overwhelmed, when we are managing all this, there's a
Mm-hmm.
personal life as well. I'm studying, I have to go to dance class, I work. So everything together, it becomes so overwhelming. And at that time, she's been my therapist also. So I just have to say auntie, and there are moments when called her and I just started crying.
Mm-hmm.
No matter where she is, my like she has always found a way to comfort me. And the way we conduct ourselves, and the values that I hold, the discipline that I have in my life, all these are the gifts that has been given to me by my teacher. She's not just taught me the first step in my class, but genuinely I'm saying, I do not know where I would be today without her. She has led me to this, to become this person with some humility, and to have respect and devotion in life towards anything.
Every generation inherits more than choreography. It inherits values.
We don't talk much in the class. We just come learn. So whenever we have any doubts, we used to ask the teacher. So nowadays we are not in the same way. Like we are very like a friends. We talk. We make it very comfortable with the students. They feel very like friendly environment we provide.
Bharatanatyam is often described as an oral tradition. Some things can be written down, others must simply be watched.
First thing, dance has more than just physical aspect to it, right? There is a lot of literature, years of training goes on, and there's so much that we have to do. And every minute of our practice will have so much you know a practice, or the discipline that we follow. Every step of our it will be a question of our intellectual capacity, it will be a question of our practical capacity, physical abilities, the um, mental strength that we have to it. And all that, as that kept developing, I don't know, I didn't ever have to like balance anything, because I was already trained for it. As a
Understood.
dancer, when I stand on that stage, right,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be doing multiple things. The beats might be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. In that 1, 2, 3, 4 beats, there'll be so many variations that we put in. In the two beats, we would have added three beats more
Mm-hmm.
to fit in. And all that I'll have to concentrate. What is the with the vocalist? What are they singing? What is happening?
Mm-hmm.
And where am I standing on stage? Like, is it the stage, front stage? Is it where my character is supposed to be? Am I giving justice to the character? Is this the step that I'm supposed to perform? Even though this develops, what muscle memory develops,
Mm-hmm.
there is there is still a lot of thought that keeps going on. And while doing all this, at one point we become the character. But even when we are, they say that you should not be 100% your character on stage. You should just that at least 2 to 5% of you should be yourself to manage all these things. So we'll be multitasking.
Ah, so everything, just balancing everything came very naturally to you as a result of learning Bharatanatyam and balancing all of the other characters and the music and the bhavas and everything, right?
There's one story there. I think I had my senior exam in dance and my 10th standard exam. They
Mm-hmm.
both happened to be at the same time with 10 days difference.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even miss class. I couldn't even stop studying. So both happened together simultaneously. It wasn't difficult for me because I used to finish practice, come home, have something, take some rest, and I used to start studying.
Mm-hmm.
That resilience, or that power, the strength to do something with that focus and concentration, it just automatically comes through years of practice. Whatever has been happening till now, most of it has been oral traditions. But
Mm-hmm.
like I said, our guru Natyacharya V.S. Kaushik. He has documented everything that we follow in our parampare. Our parampare is Nanjan Gudu parampare, and he has documented everything. When I saw that, I feel that documentation preserves the knowledge that is being transferred, right? It gives the future generation some starting point at least to, go ahead, and it cannot capture every nuances that happens in dance. It can preserve the essence of it, but it can capture every nuances. For example, my teacher will sit in front of me and teach that she'll just move her neck from right to left. Okay, there is a lot of grace that comes out of it just with one small movement, which we wouldn't even like think that it can do such a big impact, but it does. So such kind of nuances is very difficult to be captured in words or put into the documentation, but it definitely allows the students to revisit the concepts. If something is forgotten, they can recall the forgotten ideas, and then we can ask deeper questions with the help of the documentation. So I often compare documentation like, if we are supposed, for example, I'll explain it like this. If I am supposed to study for an exam, I make certain notes, right? And those those notes will be just keywords. So the next day when I'm going to the exam hall, the keywords alone can help me remember all the subjects that I have studied and all the things that I've studied under that with just one word, right? So imagine what a documentation can do. But again, like we say, the earth is round, and when you try to capture it on a piece of paper in the form of map, it cannot always be accurate, right? It is going to have its own distortions. So oral tradition preserves the living essence of it, but also documentation preserves the knowledge, research, and structure. And I got to do that. Actually, my dissertation work was a little complicated subject. It was geometry of dance. So I had to like put everything down on a piece of paper, whatever the technicalities that we follow, and the practical aspects of it had to be converted into theoretical aspects, and I had to communicate it to people through that, right? It's very difficult to put every step into that, but as much as we can incorporate it. The oral tradition always preserves the essence of this.
So, how does a tradition built on watching and repeating survive an age of shrinking attention spans?
I remember one of my juniors coming to my guru and telling, "Ma'am, I learned the meaning of Hanuman Chalisa, so can I have some time in the class to share it with all kids?" Also had youngsters who asked, "Who is Jatayu? Who kidnapped Sita? And what is the purpose behind it?" It is very important that we answer these questions and not dismiss it. Dance has sparked that curiosity in them. It introduces such stories and characters and philosophies, values. And when that why is not answered, the real story becomes a myth. One big thing is social media. It has become one of the biggest sources of entertainment. So it has both positive and negative influences, right? They're genuinely good content creators and influencers who can use this platform, with some responsibility and all that. But there are also some misinforms or something like that happens. But what concerns me more is uh, shrinking attention span. People find it difficult to concentrate for 1 hour, even in our dance. One varna used to be almost 2.5 hours. Now, one varna is just 25 to 30 minutes. It was first introduced in temples. There used to be scholars. Each temple had a competition between itself as to which dancer will come and perform there. And each temple had its own merits as to like if you perform here, then you also get that merit. There were people who were strictly doing just dance. They had to practice every day, they had to learn, they had to know it. And the people who came to watch there were all scholars. Everyone had this common education system at that time, right? We had that gurukulas and everything at that time. So everyone had a knowledge about what is happening in that particular program. Everyone. There are epigraphical sources which tell us that. Then later it went to courts. Courts had all these scholars. 64 different types of knowledge is there. All the people who have studied all these 64 used to sit and watch. They can stop the dancer in between and ask them the question if king permits it. So all these used to happen, and the kings themselves were such great patrons and such great artists. The dancer was ready to answer that. Later, colonization happened, and British came up, and all this. This is pre-independence time. The dance, the performing arts itself, not just dance. They called it vulgar and all that. There are like, if we read about it, it's just very disheartening. So post independence, there are so many people who worked really, really hard to revive this art form and get it to this day where it is now. So then post independence, when the performance used to happen, there used to be these art critics. So they used to come and watch the performance. Every step used to be observed by them. The next day it would get printed in newspaper if something is right or something is wrong. If it is right, then the appreciation also used to happen. If it is wrong, then the criticism also used to happen next day. Now what I have observed is first two rows, like after the first two rows, whoever is sitting, we have to start from the basic. But I think this again should become a very, it should be a common education system. At least half of the population should know what the art forms are, right? And because this is not just dance or just a performing art, it is a holistic learning. But again, like you said, the audience, it becomes difficult. What we did in my program was I had an interaction with everyone before my program, like 2 or 3 days before. When I was inviting everyone, I told everyone that, see, this and this is going to happen. You have to sit and watch the whole thing. And we have comparing for every program so that everyone gets to know what we are doing. Two dreams that I hold very closely to myself is, first one is little spiritual. Bharatanatyam itself started from temples. So I hope to visit as many temples as possible and offer my dance as a prayer there, not as a performance, but just as an offering. And dance, for me, dancing in temple is like the uh, uh, act of devotion, call it, or complete surrender. It's my way of expressing my prayers. And the second dream is to travel across the world and perform in as many places as possible. I want to introduce this art form to as many audiences as possible, even for those who may have never experienced it before. Create awareness about our culture and our artistic heritage, and inspire more people to learn about it.
Any 12-year-old, any youngster who's listening to the show right now and wants to learn Bharatanatyam, what would you tell them?
I think I would just be like, when I was your age, probably I didn't know where dance would take me either. I was just happy to go and perform, do some movements there, and that just make doing few movements just made me feel happy. And it teaches us more than just dance. So you will have that confidence, you'll have that patience. Even if you're not able to tell something to someone through some words, you can tell it through dance. And you learn so many stories from our culture. You make wonderful friends who later become into a family to you. You'll get to create so many memories. I think this art form has that power to hold on to you, and someday I think you will hopefully stand in front of someone, some other 12-year-old, and you will be able to say, please try this, and it creates magic.
What is the best, most respectable Guru Dakshina that a student can give to a teacher?
The best Guru Dakshina that a student can give a teacher is, everyone does mistakes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But who is there to correct the mistakes? One thing a student can do is promise the Guru that the same mistake will never be repeated again, that the learnings will be incorporated within her, and to bring in justice to what the teacher has sacrificed. And let go of all the ego. Humility and humanity is what wins. And I know for a fact that every teacher would hope that her student imbibes all these values and stands out with the values and conduct that a guru has given. And if we follow all that, I think that would be the best Guru Dakshina that any student can give a guru.
What message do you want to give to your peer dancers?
Let us not dilute this art form which has come from so, like, after a lot of fights, after a lot of struggles, it has been given to us, and it becomes our responsibility to preserve it as it is. So that's one thing I would like to tell everyone.
Every generation inherits a tradition, but traditions don't survive because they're old. They survive because someone chooses to carry them. Today, we've heard 3 voices at different stages of that journey. A guru, a young dancer just beginning, and an artist who is now starting to pass the tradition forward herself. Perhaps that is what Bharatanatyam has always been. Not simply a dance, but one generation teaching the next how to stand, how to listen, and how to carry beauty with responsibility. This is Puja Goyal, and this has been Yuvavani on Akashvani, Bengaluru. Thank you for listening.